Welcome to Mystery and Enchanted Stories.
The Dragon King and the War of the Serpent Sky. In the world of Eldora, a land where magic flowed through the earth and sky like blood through veins, there existed a race of beings that had long ruled over all living creatures, the dragons. These ancient beings, imbued with primal power, soared high above the mountains and forests, their great wings casting shadows over cities and kingdoms. Of all the dragons, one stood unmatched in might and wisdom, King Uruzul, the Dragon King. Uruzul's scales shimmered like molten gold, his eyes as deep as the endless abyss of the cosmos. His wings, vast and strong, could summon hurricanes with a single beat. For centuries, he had ruled over the dragon clans with a balance of strength and fairness, ensuring that the land remained at peace. Under his reign, humans, elves, and other mortal races lived in uneasy harmony with the dragons, paying tribute in exchange for protection from the wild and powerful creatures that roamed Eldora's untamed lands. Yet, peace in Eldora was as fragile as the morning dew, and deep beneath the earth, in the darkened caverns where the light of the sun never reached, there brooded a force that would soon rise to challenge Uruzul's dominion. This force was the Serpent Sky, a legion of dark, twisted dragons led by the corrupted Wyrm Lord, Vexithar. The rise of the Serpent Sky. Vexithar had once been a noble dragon, a loyal servant of Uruzul, but over the centuries, he had become consumed by a thirst for power. It was said that Vexithar delved deep into the forbidden magics of the Shadow Realms, seeking to control not just the land and sky, but time itself. His scales, once a brilliant cobalt, had darkened to an inky black, his eyes glowing with an unnatural, sickly green light. Beneath his leadership, the Serpent Sky became a formidable force, a legion of dragons twisted by the same dark magic that had corrupted their master. Vexithar promised them power beyond their wildest imaginations, domination over not only Eldora, but every realm connected by the cosmic threads of existence. His words fanned the flames of ambition in the hearts of many dragons, and slowly, Uruzul's Council of Elders began to hear whispers of rebellion. It began with skirmishes in the far reaches of Eldora, small outposts attacked, villages razed, and dragons loyal to the king disappearing without a trace. Uruzul sent envoys to investigate, but none returned. With each passing day, the signs of unrest grew, and soon the Dragon King knew that war was inevitable. The call to arms. In the grand city of Arcanes, built atop the floating cliffs of Vornith, where the seat of dragon power resided, Uruzul called together the High Council. Eldora's greatest dragons gathered in the Celestial Spire, a tower that stretched into the clouds and shimmered with ancient magic. Vexithar has grown bold, Uruzul said, his voice deep and resonant, echoing through the chamber. His ambition knows no bounds. He seeks to tear the fabric of our world apart, to reshape it in his own twisted image. We cannot let this darkness consume us. The council murmured in agreement, though many looked uneasy. For centuries, they had lived in peace, governing the land with a delicate balance of power. War was a thing of the past, a distant memory buried in the annals of history. "We are with you, King Uruzul," said Seraphis, a dragoness with scales the color of silver moonlight. "But this war, if Vexithar's army is as formidable as the rumors say, will not be easily won." Uruzul nodded gravely. "I know. That is why we must unite the clans. All of Eldora must stand together, dragon and mortal alike, if we are to defeat this threat. Summon the leaders of the human kingdoms, the Elven Highborn, and the Dwarven Lords. They must know that their survival is at stake." The council quickly set to work, spreading word to every corner of Eldora. Messengers flew to the human kingdom of Edric, to the elven courts of the Iloran Woods, and deep into the iron caves of the dwarves. The call to arms was answered by all, for they knew that the might of the Serpent Sky would not stop at the dragons. Soon, the world itself would be plunged into chaos if Vexithar succeeded. The war begins. The first true battle came in the Valley of Thala, a barren wasteland on the edge of Eldora, where the air crackled with ancient magic. The armies of Eldora, the dragons of Aruzul's clan, accompanied by mortal warriors from every race, stood ready, facing the oncoming storm of darkness that swept down from the mountains. Vexithar's forces were a terrifying sight. His dragons, once majestic beings, had been twisted into grotesque forms. Their wings were torn and frayed, their scales marred by black veins of shadowy magic. They flew not with grace, but with a predatory, unnatural speed, their roars echoing like the screams of the damned. Aruzul took to the skies, his golden form shining like a beacon of hope against the stormy sky. Beside him flew Seraphis, and behind them, the mightiest dragons of Eldora prepared for battle. The clash of dragon against dragon, magic against magic, was cataclysmic. The sky was rent asunder with lightning, fire, and frost. Dragons locked in aerial combat, their roars shaking the heavens, while below, human, elf, and dwarf fought side by side against the dark forces of Vexithar's twisted horde. The battle raged for days, neither side giving ground easily. Aruzul fought with the strength of ages, his fire scorching the earth and his claws tearing through the ranks of the serpent sky. But for every enemy he felled, more took their place. The dark magic that fueled Vexithar's army seemed endless, and slowly, the forces of Eldora began to tire. In the midst of the chaos, Aruzul spotted Vexithar, perched atop a cliff, watching the battle unfold with cold, calculating eyes. The WIRM Lord had not yet entered the fray, but his presence was felt everywhere, a dark, oppressive force that weighed on the spirits of those fighting below. With a mighty roar, Aruzul flew toward Vexithar, his heart burning with righteous fury. "Vexithar," he bellowed, "face me, coward. Or are you so corrupted by your own greed that you hide behind your army of slaves?" Vexithar's lips curled into a sneer, and with a wave of his claw, the ground beneath Aruzul trembled. Dark tendrils of shadow magic rose up, attempting to ensnare the Dragon King, but Aruzul was ready. He unleashed a torrent of golden fire, burning through the shadows, and with a powerful beat of his wings, launched himself at Vexithar. The two dragons collided with a thunderous crash, their claws and teeth flashing in the dim light of the storm. Aruzul's fire clashed with Vexithar's dark magic, creating shockwaves that rippled through the battlefield. Below, the armies halted for a moment, all eyes turned toward the titanic struggle unfolding above them. Vexithar was powerful, far more powerful than any dragon Aruzul had faced before. His dark magic gave him an unnatural strength, and every time Aruzul thought he had gained the upper hand, Vexithar would unleash another spell, driving him back. But Aruzul fought not just for himself, but for all of Eldora. The memory of his people, the bond he shared with every dragon under his rule, and the hope for a future free from the tyranny of darkness fueled him. With a mighty roar, he summoned all his strength and struck Vexithar with a blow that sent the corrupted WIRM Lord crashing to the ground. Aruzul descended after him, pinning Vexithar beneath his massive claws.
Thanks for joining me on this journey through captivating tales and vivid imaginations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories that touch your heart and ignite your mind. Until next time, keep dreaming, stay inspired, and remember, the next story might just reveal a secret you've been searching for.